Hey, it's Derek U of M Tiger.com back for another video. Today I want to talk about the iPod 2nd Gen 20 gigabyte version. The reason I want to talk about it is, well, I was looking through a drawer the other day, one of those drawers with batteries and cables, and I was looking for an Ethernet cable for a new device that I got for the living room. And in this thing, buried under a bunch of stuff, was the old iPod 20 gig model, this guy. Started me thinking about, the thing is, came out I think in 2002, and so here I am over 20 years later looking back at when I first purchased it. It was a device that I bought from Circuit City. If that ages it, so be it, but I decided to grab, I was actually going into a Circuit City to get a Rio Karma. I don't know if people remember this. It was kind of a grayish looking MP3 player with a little red knob. It's actually cool. It was industrial looking. I went in there specifically to buy that, and I was looking at it, and I see this white, modern looking, almost futuristic device sitting there. And I had heard about the iPod, and I hadn't seen one in person until that day, but I pick it up and I'm like, this is pretty cool. But I remembered that it didn't work on my PC, and I didn't have a Mac at the time. And so I was like, well, this is, it's beautiful, and I wish I could actually have this, because I'm messing around with the scroll wheel, going back and forth between the files that they had on there, and everything is just running smooth. And I go and I asked the sales guy, I was like, is there any way to get it to work on my PC? He said, do you have a FireWire on your port on your PC? No. Well, then you're going to need a separate card that will add a FireWire port to the PC, and then also it'll have, I think it had 2 or 3 extra USB ports. And I said, well, how much is it, and whatever. Anyway, I decided to get the iPod, but he also told me that the Windows did not have iTunes yet. So you don't have FireWire, you don't have iTunes. I was sacrificing for this thing because I really liked it in person. And so I decided to download a third-party program called FPod, E-P-H-P-O-D. I doubt it's still around. Maybe it is. I don't know. But anyway, that's kind of the iTunes substitute at the time. So I get the thing home, install the card, connect the iPod, and actually everything worked good. I've moved all my files over to it, the ones that I wanted to listen to on this device, and I was up and running. Some people will say, well, what's the sound quality of this guy compared to like your iPhone or some other MP3 player? And this did not take lossless when I first bought it, so that could be a good or a bad thing. If you were trying to save space on here, then lossless is not the way to go. Back in the day, I was like a member on Hydrogen forums. Anybody remember that? If you do, give me a shout out. But I went on there to find out really what could you hear the difference between, and there was some argument over what people could hear, and I decided to put 190 kilobit. I can't remember if I used AAC or MP3, but I think it was MP3, and put those on here. I don't know if people remember, but before you had devices like this, you had stacks of CDs. You had things you put CDs in and open CD wallets. Matter of fact, most of my CDs, not all of them, I have probably thousands, and I bought these huge wallet things that you can get rid of the old case and put them in the wallet. And so I have those alphabetically in 4 different wallets. I think they hold like 500 each or something. And so you can pull that out and go through it if you know where the ABC, where the alphabetical order is. So anyway, I rarely touch a CD unless it's an SACD or DVD audio disc or something like that. I do have some collector CDs like the Beatles and stuff like that they have through the box set. Mono disc is an example where I will touch the CD, but a lot of times I just listen to the lossless version I have on my computer now. Anyway, I digress. The iPod was kind of like didn't hold all my files. So I had to be intentional with what I put on here. And that's one of the things that, going back now and seeing it, that's one of the things that I kind of looked forward to, is what exactly did I listen to back then? What did I have on here? Because now you have streaming. I have a million albums at my disposal, playlists galore. But that's not always the best thing, because like if you're, think about it like this, if you can get, like, let's say somebody's going to feed you ice cream for 48 hours in a row, sooner or later it's just too much and you're not getting the same pleasure from it. This is saying, okay, I'm going back and listen to an album I picked out. I actually went and bought this for most of the time extremely high prices, and I wanted the album enough that I went and actually purchased it. For me, that was kind of why I kind of like going back to this. Is it's more it's more intent listening, more intentioned listening, and in that way, so it also fits the whole vibe of it. Because like on your phone, you listen to music on your phone, and I have a lot of ways to make this phone sound better. I have DACs that go with it, portable DACs, Dragonfly DACs, high Diz DACs, all kinds of things to make my phone sound better. I use it for streaming to different devices, and I have videos on some of that stuff. But one of the things I like about this is it gets you away from all the regular technology and says, okay, I'm just going to go in the backyard with this, and then I'll be able to just enjoy music without getting alerts, without getting the constant, I need to check my social media, I got a message, I got this and I got that, and you're getting notifications. So for me, I do have the Apple Watch, and that allows me to get specific, very tailored notifications. But it doesn't have me checking stuff on my phone, because I'll just leave like, let's say I want to go listen in the kitchen, or if I'm going to listen in my stressless lounge chair, or go out by the pool and listen. This allows me to kind of at least get some notifications, but at the most, just listen to this and enjoy it. Whether that's listen to a full album. I don't have a lot of playlists on this. I was never really a big playlist guy until Apple Music decided to make those for me out of what I've been listening to. I never went through and just said, I want to listen to upbeat mood music. There was a period of time, a long time ago, when on my Apple Music, and there's probably something like it now, where I could tell something to find music with the same overall feel and play those. It's called mood something or other. But outside of that, a lot of times I haven't made a lot of playlists. I do have like blues, Chicago blues and stuff like that, but not a lot. But anyway, so this is just kind of sit down and listen to an album. And they made it so easy with you can turn the backlight on and off. You can scroll around. That's the same scroll wheel that you kind of flip through music with is the same one you adjust volume with. So it's like this double, has multiple ways you can use it. The menu button up and down. You could do a calendar. There was actually one game on this thing. I never used those features. I was only into music. And so when you pair this thing with, so you're saying, well, it's 190 gigabyte files or kilobyte files. How good is the sound quality? Well, I'm not going to say it's like elite, but back in the day, I don't know if any of the audiophiles remember this. There was a device called a PA2V2 headphone amp. You could take it with you. For a long time, I had that guy sitting in my car, and I had a iPod plugged into it, and then the device was plugged into my aux input, and it actually raised the volume enough that it sounded good in my car. Without it, it sounded dead. And so that was cool. There was also something called an iTrip that you plugged into the top and into the FireWire port, and it would find a FM channel and allow you to play music that way. So this is what we did before Bluetooth. This is what we did before direct, lightning connections into CarPlay or wireless. It was much more difficult. And it was worth it though, because you, instead of carrying a CD wallet with like 10 CDs, you had thousands that you had right here in your palm that you could listen to whatever you were in the mood for on that given day. I remember one year when I had CDs in my car, I listened to like 2 CDs for the entire summer. So it was like, this is a lot better. So the PA2V2, this is so I have the PA2V2. I have it connected to my AKG K701s. These are my headphones that I use mainly in the office. This guy is just, you plug the headphone amp in there, and then you have the other port, and then you can just connect the iPod to one and the other one to the headphone amp, and it actually gives you better sound. And this also uses AAA batteries, or you can even, it came with a charger, so you can charge up rechargeable AAA batteries, or AA batteries, sorry, AA batteries. I also had something that's a little, this guy is the FIO E5 headphone amp, and it's not nearly as good as a PA2V2, and I'd be arguing whether it's even better than the actual iPod. But if you wanted to try it, it was nice because you could just clip this guy to your lapel or to your collar, and it just hung there and gave you theoretically better sound quality. So I did try to get around making it sound a little better. Got used to it, but what it's more about nowadays is just being able to take it out on the deck, plug it in, and just let the music play. If you're interested in something like this, a lot of people have there's videos on how to upgrade this to SSD and to put Rockbox and things like that on there. No, I want to just have the original. It worked perfect. What's crazy about it is I plugged it in, Apple logo came on, and I was like, wow, this thing still works after 20 years. My AirPods, which I got 2 years ago, just today I had to go up to FedEx to drop off one AirPod because it stopped working. They did ship me another one because I had it under warranty, but still, a little less than 2 years ago, and I've got this thing that is over 20 years old that works still, almost 25 years old, that still works, and I've got this thing 2 years old and it's failing. Anyway, the one other thing about this I like is there's no way for them to kill it. It's already got all my songs on there, and I don't rely on somebody updating an app. I don't rely on anybody doing anything. This thing just works. I have, like, over here I have an iPhone 4S, and I use it mainly for streaming. Thankfully, the app that I use for that is still working. And then it has Apple Music, but a lot of the apps I bought don't work anymore. They were updated to the new version and they don't work backward. As an example, I had something called Airfoil, which worked as a stream receiver, like this other app that I have. It's called Your Music. But anyway, it came in and played the music. Well, I go to use it and it says this product doesn't work anymore. You need to download a different one. Then I go download it and it says your device isn't new enough to download the thing. So they just completely killed that product that made this thing so useful. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The thing is on that, and I still love streaming, don't get me wrong, that's my main way I listen to music. I listen to music in a lot of different ways, and streaming is the one I would pick if I had to choose one from now on. But there's still some charm and something to be taken from this other than just pure nostalgia. Anyway, this has got me thinking that maybe I'll go back and dig through my drawer and see if I have any other older devices. I did pull out a PSP, a game, what's it called? Game Boy Color or something. Game Boy Color Advance, I think. I have an old Nintendo NES. I want to go back and just revisit these. I don't know why. I feel like I'm kind of where things are just getting to... they're losing their charm. Let's just say that. They're getting so good that they're losing their charm. I like a little bit of charm, especially in video games, where I can just go play Tetris for 10 minutes and have a complete experience and then move on. I don't have to like delve into like all this extra stuff you're doing in games. Not that there's anything wrong with that if that's your thing, but I just like these older devices that are singular and perform a thing that one, that I'm nostalgic for, and two, just work. So anyway, until the next one, peace out.